Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Margaret Riley, Academic Director for Nursing at the CUNY School of Professional Studies. I'm delighted you could join us tonight. The topic this evening is our nursing programs in the undergraduate program. And these include the RN to BS in nursing and the accelerated RN to BS to Masters. And we have 3 program tracks in that: nursing education, nursing informatics, and nursing organizational leadership. We'll talk a little bit more about each of those, as well as the program in general. As I indicated, my name is Dr. Margaret Riley. I'm the academic director for both the undergraduate and the graduate program in nursing here at CUNY SPS. We are an online nursing program, but we do have some clinical requirements that require a physical presence, but we'll talk about ways that you can meet that. Our Associate Director of Nursing is Dr. Joanne Lavin. We also have Dr. Lily Matthew, Dr. Jan Kaminsky, Dr. Eileen Shake, and Dr. Ann Simmons. A very strong team, and we have many adjunct faculty who are experienced in their specialty areas to share their knowledge with you. Our Assistant Director, Zarina Valenti, is also available to help you and help us administrate the program. You can always reach us at our email, nursing@sps.cuny.edu. So let's talk for a few minutes about why it's important for you to go back to school and get a bachelor's degree in nursing. It's helpful to you so that you enhance your professional knowledge. Some of you are already expert clinicians, and some of you are well on your way to that after completing your pre-licensure programs in nursing. Going back to school to earn your bachelor's degree allows you to build on your knowledge in a formal academic way. It expands your knowledge of patient safety, healthcare delivery systems, and gives you opportunities to build new professional networks. It also opens the door to many possibilities. A bachelor's degree in nursing is also the first step for you towards graduate education. So if you aspire to become a nurse practitioner, a nurse manager, a nurse educator, a nursing informaticist, having that bachelor's degree is the first step to completing your goals. A bachelor's degree can also enhance your employment opportunities and allow you to move into positions that you might not have been able to because of the degree. You should also know that there are some driving forces behind nursing going back to school, so to speak. The Institute of Medicine wrote a report in 2010 in conjunction with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. They partnered to examine changing directions in the healthcare delivery system, and they produced a report called The Future of Nursing. They identified some key recommendations, which we have posted here. And the 4 key recommendations are: nurses should practice to the full extent of their educational training. And this did not just refer to nurse practitioners, but to registered nurses at the bedside with patients as well. It also suggested that nurses should achieve higher levels of education, and they even came out with a recommendation that 80% of RNs should have a bachelor's degree by 2020. Well, we're approaching that fast. We still have a ways to go, and this was a recommendation. The IOM also said nurses should be full partners with other healthcare delivery professionals in redesigning healthcare in the United States, and should be able to implement information infrastructure and data collection for workforce planning and policy making. So these higher levels of education overall, not just a bachelor's degree, but also advocating for nurses to get their master's and their doctorate, they saw as an important key aspect to enhance care delivery in our country, to promote quality and safety, and to improve patient outcomes. Another key driving force is the American Nurses Credentialing Center Magnet Recognition Program. Some of you may already work at facilities that are magnet institutions or are seeking magnet status. This is considered a gold seal of quality care and safety in healthcare delivery by examining how nurses function in a facility, and is the facility making full use of the education, professionalism, and skills of the nurses that are on their staff. They also came out with recommendations. 100% of nurse leaders must have a bachelor's or a master's in nursing. 100% of nurse managers must have a bachelor's or master's in nursing. And their most recent standard in the application to become a magnet facility says that each facility seeking magnet status must have a plan whereby 80% of the registered nurses on their staff should be working to obtain a degree in nursing, either a bachelor's or a master's, by 2020. And you can see that they took that from the Institute of Medicine. Their belief is that by enhancing the education of nurses who are on the front lines of interactions with patients, nurses can help develop skills to translate their ideas into best practices that can impact care. ANCC is also the institution that credentials nurses in specialties. So this is their credential on an institutional level, a credential of excellence. We also have the Affordable Care Act, which was also passed back in 2010. Um, Even though changes have been made, there are still nuances to the Affordable Care Act that have required healthcare to be delivered in different strategies and models. There are changes in reimbursement. We also have new roles for RNs, such as health coaches or care managers. There are leadership opportunities emerging from the implementation of the Affordable Care Act, such as case management or overseeing population health. And we see increased use of technology in managing care of patients in general. The Affordable Care Act also recognized that there are many interprofessionals that deliver care, and they must learn to collaborate and work together in order to achieve those best outcomes. They recognize that it takes a team to implement good quality care, and nurses need to be a part of that. In January of 2018, this year, New York State became the first state in the country to implement what's called the BSN in 10. And this affects all future nurse graduates of associate degree and diploma programs. It is not enforced on nurses who are already graduates and licensed, but it's something to think about for those who are contemplating attending nursing school. It says that all nurses after 10 years of licensure must achieve a BS in order to be able to maintain their license. Now, there are provisions or exceptions, but the idea was to help move forward healthcare delivery, quality, and safety, and improve patient outcomes here in New York State. The increasingly complex healthcare needs that we see among our patients require greater levels of education, interprofessional collaboration, systems management, team building, and so on. So these are all the types of skills that you will achieve as you seek higher education. So now that we have discussed the whys of going back to school, let's discuss what you should look for when you decide to enroll in a program that will help you earn your bachelor's degree. You want to look at the program offerings. Perhaps you already know what your goal is, and you might want to look at the school and see not only do they offer a bachelor's degree, but do they offer the graduate program that I'm interested in? The idea of combining two degrees, dual degree, one on top of the other, Many schools offer opportunities for you to fast track to that graduate degree, so that's something to consider. Research the schools that offer RN to BS programs and look at ones that fit your ultimate goals. Look at their websites, attend their information sessions, do your homework before you make a decision. If you're thinking of a face-to-face program, where is the school located? Will you have to travel far? Is it close to your job, close to your home? What would work better for you in terms of location? Do they offer on-site programs at your hospital or your agency? Do they offer online options? Look at cost. Is the tuition affordable? How many credits will they allow you to transfer into the program? Because remember, the more credits you can transfer in, the less credits you have to pay to take to get to your bachelor's degree. Time. Do I need to work in order to be able to go to school and get tuition reimbursement? Or can I commit to just going straight to school and finishing the program quickly? You do have to find a balance in your life between work hours and school hours. How long will it take to complete the program? What time are the courses offered if they are face-to-face courses? When are they offered? Do they offer only certain courses in the fall and certain ones in the spring? How is that going to work with my plans to advance my education? Look at the learning style. Is it a traditional classroom, which all of us have grown up with face-to-face with a teacher at the head of the class and students in their chairs facing the teacher? Is it a cohort style where you travel through a program with the same group of nurses? Is it online? Have I any experience with online learning? Is it something that can work for me? Look at what works best. Look at clinical placement assistance. Remember, any program that's registered in New York State is required to have students complete clinical requirements. These clinical requirements usually focus on community and public health settings. Does the program offer any assistance with clinical placements, with finding preceptors in these clinical sites? Do they provide support with clinical instructors, or do students have to navigate this on their own? Here at SPS, our program is online. We do accept up to 90 undergraduate transfer credits. They have to align with the program requirements. And we also offer classes in fall, spring, winter, and summer, and accept students both in fall as well as in spring. We'll talk a little bit more about online learning, but let's talk a little bit more about nursing at SPS. So one of our major foci is cultural diversity. We want to embrace that diversity here in the heart of New York City, familiarize students with the many shapes and forms that diversity takes, from ethnicity to gender to educational level to disabilities and so forth. We want to be able to have you embrace all of those and become familiar and sensitive to that level of competency. We believe that nurses are educators, so we're not prepping you to be a nurse educator per se, but we do believe that that's a very important role for nurses in whatever setting you end up in. We embrace the idea of interprofessional practice and collaboration, and many of our clinical experiences highlight that. And we do think that this model fosters development of leadership and collaboration skills and is an effective approach to apply evidence in practice. So who are we? We are CUNY School of Professional Studies. We are part of the City University of New York, CUNY's online school. And although we are online, we actually do have a campus here in Manhattan at 119 West 31st Street in New York City. SPS was created over 10 years ago to meet the needs of working adults. It is rapidly growing with expanded offerings, including not just nursing, but health information management, medical coding, business, psychology, sociology, among other programs. At SPS, students experience the best of both worlds, part of the larger CUNY family, which is ideal for making connections and networking, while at the same time part of a smaller school with personalized attention, staff and faculty committed to each of the students' success. We are fully accredited by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, and our nursing program is accredited by the New York State Department of Education, as well as the Collegiate Commission on Nursing Education. In 2018, U.S. News and World Report ranked our school in the top 5% for the best online bachelor's degree programs. What else happens here at SPS? Well, we have many working adults, many in career transition. You are people with families of your own with many responsibilities, and we have students who need a degree that fits their schedule. We also have faculty from all over the world, as well as people and students from all over the world that you have an opportunity to interact with in your online classes. Some of the student services we offer include an online new student orientation before you come into the online program as a student and begin your classes. We prepare you for what you will experience by giving you the opportunity to experience what is it like to be in an online classroom setting. So over a 2-week period, there are activities and tasks and opportunities for you to become familiar with online learning. We offer everyone that comes to the undergraduate program a dedicated advisor who will follow you through the program and who will get to know you and your issues and also provide guidance on program planning and management. We offer tutoring both online as well as on campus so that if you are struggling with something, there are opportunities for you to seek help and guidance in addition, above and beyond your faculty. We have a library. We use the Baruch Library, which is also located here in Manhattan. You can utilize the services both online as well as on campus. So you can actually go to Baruch Library if you choose. And the wonderful thing about being part of CUNY is that you have access to all of CUNY's libraries in an online fashion. We have a help desk to offer tech support, and we also have career services to help you with resume planning, job search strategies, making connections, building your social media profile, and many informative webinars and seminars. What about our nursing program? Well, if you apply to CUNY SPS, you are admitted directly to the nursing program. Some schools admit you to the school and then require you to complete certain prerequisites or achieve a certain grade point average before you can start your nursing classes. Our application gives you the requirements. If you meet those requirements, we accept you and we accept you directly into the nursing program. We like you to start with your nursing classes right away, and then you can fill in the required gen ed materials as you move through the program. We do offer courses both in nursing as well as in your general education subjects in the fall, spring, winter, and summer. Our fall and spring semesters are traditional, 15 weeks long. Winter is 3 weeks, and our summer session we offered 3 weeks, 7-week, and 10-week sessions this past year. We also have what we call a Nursing Now orientation. This is a nursing new student orientation workshop. We hold it face-to-face here on campus, and we also hold online versions. And these are 1-day, 2-hour sessions where we acclimate you to the nursing program and the requirements, and that's in addition to the new student orientation that the school offers to you. We are pleased this year to be able to uh, let you know about our Petrie Nurse Scholar Program. We've been funded by the Petrie Foundation to offer scholarships to students in the program who meet the requirements. You have to be a graduate of one of our CUNY community colleges, you have to have completed at least 6 credits in our program, and you have to commit to a service activity. And this particular scholarship, which is competitive, will pay for your full tuition for the rest of the time that you're in the program. So this is a great opportunity for students here at CUNY SPS. And keep in mind that we are CUNY. Our name is recognizable. Your degree doesn't say an online degree. Your degree says a CUNY degree. And so when you go and interview for jobs, or when you go and apply for graduate school, you are going with a CUNY degree. And that's an important benchmark of quality as well. Some unique things that we do here at SPS. We have a health assessment course, and we recognize that you've all done physical assessment and some levels of health assessment in your pre-licensure program. So we want to build on the skills that you already have. So you have opportunities to work with digital virtual patients. We also have an opportunity for you to work with standardized patient actors using simulation. This is different from working with mannequins, which many of you may be familiar with using simulation in your pre-licensure programs. So these are real people who have been specially trained to present themselves as patients with signs and symptoms. And we offer opportunities for students to engage in that. And we can do that both in person, face-to-face, as well as virtually. We also have opportunities for students to participate in international service learning. We recently ran trips to Haiti and Guyana, and students had wonderful experiences that fulfilled their community nursing clinical requirements as well. And we have activities such as our Nurse Leaders Speaker Series, where we invite professional nurses skilled in different areas to come and speak with nurses about opportunities and career projections. What is it like to learn online? If you use this link, it's actually on our webpage. There's a great little video that talks about online learning and how to navigate. Classes online here at SPS are what we call asynchronous. And so what that means is you don't have to be online on a particular day or at a particular hour. Instead, the online classroom is open 24/7 all semester long. You do have weekly work. Every week there is an expectation that you will be in that classroom and that you will be participating, completing the activities and tasks and readings, videos, and research assignments that you have each week. And that may be a little bit different than what you are used to in a face-to-face class. So time management is very important. And unlike face-to-face classrooms, everyone in the class is engaged. So everyone is participating in the discussion. There's no sitting along the back of the room and never raising your hand to give your thoughts and ideas. We expect everyone in the class to participate. Your classes are small. You'll generally have no more than 18 to 25 students per class. So that's an opportunity for you to get to know and work well with your faculty instructor. Time management, as I said, is a very important strategy for you to work in an online classroom environment. You need to be disciplined. You need to say each week, these are the hours I'm going to dedicate to my schoolwork. So just as you used to travel to school and sit in a classroom for 3 hours and listen to a lecture, you need to allocate time each week, about 9 to 12 hours each week for every 3-credit course that you take. You need to make time for reading, for researching things, for writing a response. You need to have access to Wi-Fi. Yes, you do need a computer. Although you can use mobile devices for many things, you will need a computer in order to be able to complete all of the work that is required of you. And you do have tech support available to you. This is a great little video on time management. It was actually made by some of the students in the program, and it gives their suggestions for how to be successful in online learning. Student perspectives, you can see some of our happy student faces there. And these were actually crafted by one of our graduates, J.C. Lindstrom. And his recommendations are set your due dates before the day it is actually due. This way, if something last minute comes up or you want a chance to review before you actually submit, you have that. Don't procrastinate. John would tell the story about how he would clean 3 closets before he actually sat down to write his paper. And then once he finally wrote the paper, he wondered why he wasted the time cleaning the closets because he was putting off doing the writing. You do have to make sure that you make time and do the work that's needed. Get a planner, get a calendar, use something electronic. We actually have one built into Blackboard, which is the course learning management system. Remember that life happens. So be proactive in seeking help and informing your instructor. If you're struggling, if you need help with writing, if you need help with any of the math problems that you may encounter, uh, you might be called in to work overtime. Maybe someone in your family gets sick and you, as the nurse in the family, end up bringing them to the emergency room. Things will happen. So plan ahead, give yourself some breathing room and some extra time to do your coursework. Remember not to overbook yourself. Think about how many hours a week that you work, how many hours are you traveling, how many hours do you spend on your household and family responsibilities, how many classes can you reasonably take and be effective as a student in your participation. Remember, we talked about an average of 10 hours each week for every 3-credit course that you take. My best recommendation for the nursing students, start with 2 classes and see how you do. You can always add more. And remember, we offer classes in winter and summer, as well as fall and spring, so you can move forward. If you start yourself with a reasonable workload, you can learn and navigate the online environment. As you become more comfortable, you can add more if you think that's an important goal for you. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just deal with what you have in front of you. Ask yourself, what can I do in the next 30 minutes? What can I get done? And remember, you are all already accomplished. You made it into the nursing program, you graduated, you passed your NCLEX, you are already accomplished. So you can do this. So Blackboard is the course learning management system that we use here, not only at SPS, but all throughout CUNY. And just about every nursing course will look similar in that we have a similar menu. You'll see an announcement page. There will be information about your instructor. You will have a course information tab that provides you the syllabus, the list of textbooks, information about the policies. You will have weekly folders that we will come to in a moment that spell out for you what work is due this week. And then we even pull out the major assignments, which generally range to 3 or 4 major assignments in addition to smaller assignments. But the major assignments we pull out so that you always know what they are, when they're due, and how you can approach them. The discussion board is a high point of the online learning environment. It's where students engage in scholarly discussion. This is not like texting. You are actually asked and posed particular questions based on the readings of the week, and then you are asked to research and respond both yourself as well as to classmates. Shadow Health is our environment for the virtual digital patients I discussed. And then we also use ePortfolios here at SPS. And we have a nursing ePortfolio that we like everyone to keep and maintain. You travel through the program with your ePortfolio. You are asked to add assignments to that ePortfolio each and every course that you take. So by the end of the program, you have a portfolio of your accomplishment and your growth and development, something that you can share with graduate schools as well as future employers. This is a screenshot of the weekly materials, and it shows you that each week is set up to have a series of tasks that you must complete, and it gives you the readings, what's the discussion board, as well as other things. And you have 15 weeks in the fall and the spring. In the summer session, you'll have maybe 7 weeks, but you will still do the required amount of work. So even though the summer session might be 7 weeks, it will still be a 3-credit course. You'll just be doing the work in a shorter period of time. So let's look at the RN to BS nursing curriculum here at CUNY SPS. We have 30 nursing credits, including 3 credits of a nursing elective. Those are the nursing requirements. We also have some program requirements, and then depending on how many credits you are transferring in, you will have some general education credits that you will need to complete. Most students in an associate degree program transfer in someplace between 65 and 75 credits. A bachelor's degree is 120 credits. You must complete at least 30 credits in residency here at SPS. If you take our program credits such as pathophysiology or chemistry or statistics at your home campus where you did your pre-licensure program, you can transfer those courses in. Many of our students have taken those as part of their undergraduate associate degree work, and you can transfer those in without any difficulty. We do not have a timeline on sciences. So if you did chemistry and it was 20 years ago, we accept your chemistry credits. These are our nursing courses. Each of them are 3 credits except for 2 courses, which you'll see highlighted in a different color. The community nursing course is 4 credits, and that's to allow 1 credit for the clinical requirement that you have to fulfill. And in the capstone course in leadership and management, you have 2 credits of the 5 credits that are allocated to a clinical capstone project in quality improvement and safety. We have introduced PLA, or prior learning assessment, for our nursing elective. And what this means is that if you choose not to take a nursing elective, you can substitute a certified nursing credential for that. And there is information on our website in regard to that so that you can take advantage. So if you have ACLS and PALS, you can submit those certifications and we will give you 3 college credits towards your nursing elective. If you are certified as a CCRN, or if you are a certified emergency nurse, you produce that credential and we will give you 3 credits towards that nursing elective. So that's a great opportunity for students who have those credentials to use them to help them advance in their education. Let's talk a little bit about the community nursing course, which has a clinical requirement of 45 hours. So that 45 hours has to be met, and it can be done in several ways. You as the student can identify where you would like to do this. Now keep in mind that this is a community public health nursing experience. Many students say, well, gee, I'm already working in home care or already doing thus and such. The state education department requires that you engage in this clinical experience at a level where you're going to employ um, higher level skills such as leadership, management, applying evidence, and research. And so, yes, even though you might be working in home care or some other community setting, it is a requirement that you complete these hours as per the state education department. You can do this at your place of work. As long as it's not during your work hours, you will need to identify a preceptor who will work with you, and we suggest that you identify someone who is not your immediate supervisor so you don't get into any conflict between the student role and your worker role. The advantage to this is that it's very flexible. You can pick the day, you can pick the hours, you can pick the place. Uh, we do have to work with the agency if they require a legal agreement, but we have methods and processes in place to do that. And we host a clinical webinar information session before the semester you would take this, so that we give you all of that information and strategies on how to do this so you can be successful. If you don't want to find your own placement, or you don't have a placement, we will find one and place you. We usually structure it in a similar way to what you might be accustomed to clinical in your pre-licensure program. It's a particular day of the week. The advantage is it's only 7 days, so half the semester. These are usually at community-based facilities such as senior centers, adult daycare programs, children's learning centers, wound care centers, etc. And we do provide oversight with a clinical faculty who will help supervise the experience. We do have an international service learning experience. As I mentioned, we had students go to Haiti and Guyana with faculty who are experts in those particular cultures. And that's a 1-week experience that's self-paid. So students that are interested in doing that, it's a wonderful opportunity. For those students who have work schedules that are difficult to arrange in terms of finding 1 day a week, we can make some other arrangements available with some of our partners, such as what we call a 1-week clinical immersion. Again, all of these are explained in a clinical information webinar session that we do the semester before you would complete this. We also have a capstone in leadership and management in healthcare, and this is a 90-hour clinical experience. It translates out roughly to be 1 day a week for the entire semester for the 3.5 months. This is flexible. Again, you can select your own site and your own preceptor, and we encourage you to do that, especially at your place of work. Every facility has quality improvement initiatives that they need to work on. Students' time is a valuable commodity. You can help your facility advance an initiative. So we help and give you guidance on how to explore opportunities at your place of work. And the focus is quality improvement and patient safety. Again, the options include a student self-selected preceptor and a clinical site, or we can provide some assistance. I mentioned earlier PLA. PLA stands for Prior Learning Assessment. And for nursing in particular, we can award college credit toward the undergraduate nursing elective for different nursing certifications. I gave some examples earlier: certified emergency nurse, critical care registered nurse, a certified wound and ostomy nurse, and a very common one that our students use, the ACLS and PALS certifications. And there is the website where you can go and you can read about this, and you have to keep your credentials current throughout the time that you're here in the program, but it's a great opportunity for you to get 3 credits of your nursing program. These are our tuition and fees. Currently for 2018-2019, it's $295 per credit if you're part-time. For a full-time student, which is 12 credits, it's $3,365. I do caution students to make sure that you're looking at what's going on in your life. My recommendation is to take 2 courses or 6 credits per semester to start. You can always add. Remember, we offer courses in the fall and the spring. Those are 15-week semesters. Summer is 7 weeks. 10 weeks, 3 weeks, and winter sessions are 3 weeks. Now remember, you're still doing the same full credit load in that shortened period of time. And so if we say you need 10 hours per week over a 15-week semester, if you're doing a 7-week course, then you need to add 20 hours a week. If you're doing a 3-week course, it's very intense and you need to think about 30 to 35 hours a week in order to get all that work done. So keep that in mind. Look at what you have going on in your life when you make those kinds of decisions. In-state rates apply to all students enrolled in the online degree program. So there's no difference if you do not live in New York State. Remember, when arranging clinicals, we have many clinical affiliation agreements here in New York State. If you are looking to do a clinical that's in another state, you need to have a discussion early with me. We do have students from other states, but there's a more involved process in terms of getting an agreement in place for those students who are not doing it in the New York City, New York State area. And you are eligible to apply for financial aid as well. So the admission criteria for the RN to BS program here at CUNY SPS, you have to have a diploma in nursing from a diploma-based school or an associate degree in nursing. Many students commonly get that at a community college. You need to have an unencumbered New York State RN license and registration. We do select a few students before they get their license. So if you are in your last semester of your associate degree program, you can apply. We do accept students who do not have a license on a case-by-case basis. And if you don't meet that criteria or that threshold, we do let you know that we accept you. And once you are licensed, you can come directly into the program. Students that are in that situation have to achieve their license by the end of their first semester. So that do keep in mind you have to prepare and study for your NCLEX exam if you put yourself in that category. And so when we say you have to have your license, we just mean that you have to be registered on the New York State Education website. You don't have to wait the 6 weeks to get your license in the mail. Once you take and pass your NCLEX, you can let us know, and that's usually something that you find out within 3 to 5 days after taking your exam. We verify it on the website, and then you can move forward. We do require an admission essay, 250 words, that asks you to talk about your goals and aspirations and why you're choosing an online program to help you meet those. The GPA is a 3.0 requirement. And as per the state education department, you do need to provide official transcripts. Even if you attend a CUNY school, you need to provide official copies of your transcripts as part of your application. And we recommend that you do that electronically. And there's opportunities for you to have the electronic digital version of your transcript sent directly to the admissions office. Remember, you're going to be a transfer student. We are now on the list of all the CUNY schools that offer RN to BS programs. So if you think CUNY SPS is the option for you, be sure to select that one. Deadlines for applications for the fall, they have to be in by November 26th. So again, if you are in the last semester of your undergraduate pre-licensure associate degree program, you can apply in the last semester. We can give you a decision. It may be that we accept you outright without your license. It may be that we accept you once your license has been issued. Either way, we encourage you to apply. And the spring deadline is posted, but we recommend that you always check the website for the updates. That's a link to the application so that you can see if you're already a CUNY student, you just need to use your CUNY First username and password to apply. I want to talk a little bit about our accelerated RN to BS to Master's program. So the BS is 120 degrees and our master's degrees are 45 credits. So if you get them separately, that's 165 credits. If you apply to be in the dual program, it's an accelerated program. So you have to have a higher grade point average and maintain a higher grade point average as you are transitioning through the program. The advantage is that it's a smaller amount of credits to earn both degrees. And yes, you do get both degrees, but not until the end of the program. So we are able to do this because we're allowed to substitute some of your graduate credits and apply them to the undergraduate degree. We have three options: the RN to BS in MS in nursing education, in nursing informatics, and nursing organizational leadership. Now, it's a little bit of a different application, so you need to take time because it does require that you submit a resume. It does require that you summarize your participation in an evidence-based practice project. That doesn't mean that we expect you to have led the project, but what was your role in your institution where you were working? Were you collecting data? Were you helping to implement a new evidence-based pain management protocol or a new evidence-based fall protocol? What was your role in and your participation? For those of you that completed evidence-based projects, great, we want to hear about that as well. And then you need references, 3 references, one from a nursing faculty or a nurse educator in your facility if it's been a while since you were at school, one from a nursing supervisor or a manager if you're not working as a nurse. And we also would like to see one from a community or professional mentor or leader. And so if you are on a professional practice committee at your place of work, that would be someone that you could identify. If you work for a volunteer organization, who is the leader of that organization, and can they comment on you and your professional practice? Do you work in your community, applying your nursing skills? And if so, in what capacity? Do you do work at your child's school? So your principal that you collaborate with could be considered a community leader. So take a look at that if you're interested. If you are not in possession of your RN license at the time, you cannot apply for this program because you do have to be licensed. So this is just a screenshot and a draft of what are the courses that are satisfied by the graduate level courses. And you can see that there are more nursing electives as part of this program, but we also drive you to which courses you need to take in the graduate program in order to satisfy them. So it's a good way if you are knowing what you want to do. If you know that you want to get a particular master's degree, this is a great way to move yourself forward. Here is the MS in Nursing core courses. So all 3 core master's tracks take these 9 courses. And you can see that we have what's called the 3P courses that are common in nurse practitioner programs. We do not have a nurse practitioner program here, but we believe in the model of having all master's prepared nurses skilled in these advanced practice role sets. So advanced practice health assessment, advanced practice pathophysiology, and advanced practice pharmacology are all requirements for each of our core nursing master's programs. We have specialty courses for each of these tracks as well. And like all master's program, there is a clinical practicum that you need to complete. So worthwhile taking a look at if this is something that you think is a direction you want to move in. If you enroll in the RN to BS program and then decide, oh, gee, I would really like to do this, you can transition to this program once you are in the RN to BS program. You have to do that within your first year. As I said, the application process is a little bit different. You have to have your associate degree in nursing, so that's similar, a 3.0 GPA, unencumbered RN license and registration, your admission essay. You do need 3 letters of recommendation spelled out here and also spelled out in the application itself. the evidence-based practice project summary, and your resume. So the application process for this is on the CUNY SPS webpage. You would select the specific program that you want, go to the CUNY portal. Um, if you don't have a CUNY ID, then you would need to register and create a new account. So I want to conclude by saying shift happens. And if you notice the picture on the left there, those were the days 100 years ago when I was working in the emergency department and we were pulling paper patient charts. Now everything is electronically based. On the left there, we see an old-fashioned clunky desktop computer. Now we see more people using sleek tablets. So things will evolve as you go through your professional career. Education is a great way to prepare yourself for future changes and to position yourself for opportunities to take advantage of. It's a great thing to move forward because you never know what those opportunities will be. You never know what will come in the future, but you do know that education and degree will be one ticket for you to move forward. For more information, you can always visit our nursing webpage. I'll take you there in just a moment. You can call, you can write to us, you can connect with us on Facebook, and you can always reach out to me. My name is Dr. Margaret Riley. I'm the Academic Director for Nursing here at CUNY SPS. I want to thank everybody for their time today. I appreciate you joining us this evening, and I wish you good luck in your academic adventures. Thank you and good night.